So we hear a lot about people talking about shifts or timeline shifts, jumping timelines. How do you gauge where you're at, right? It's becoming very apparent that some people appear to almost be like retreating or going hermit when in fact they're just choosing to observe, right? Because jumping timelines or shifting your consciousness is about expanding your consciousness. What does that mean? That means taking a perspective other than just your own. It means, that might start off with, maybe you have a friend and you're willing to see something outside of your point of view, right? And you will see theirs. So now you have shifted, right? You've opened your mind up to seeing something from a different point of view other than yours. The more willing that you are to do that, the more you will expand or shift. Think of it like scenarios, right? Like when you sit with yourself and you play out all these different scenarios. A lot of times you don't have control over a lot of it, right? Because you have other people factored into those situations or scenarios. So what's another word for scenario? So if you're sitting in a space and you've got 5 different scenarios in front of you, do you have 5 different timelines? Depending upon outside factors, your perspective, you're able to shift through them, right? You're able to jump from one to the other. When you're able to detach emotionally and not view a situation with emotion, you again expand your consciousness, right? It's not as complicated as everybody's making. You don't need to pay big bucks for somebody to tell you how to do it. You just need to be open to doing it. You need to realize that it's not just your perspective. There's all these other perspectives at play all the time. How far are you willing to step back and sit in your seat as the observer, right? But now how do you gauge, like on your compass, where are you at? Are you still engaging in what other people think about you? Are you still harboring feelings of anger and hatred? Are you in a mentality of constantly comparing? Are you finding yourself in fear or triggered by things that you read in the news? The world is a stage. Just remember that. Whether it's your individual stage or it's a bunch of stages playing out at one time, the world is a stage. You cast the characters in your life. It's where your relationships come in. Some of you are noticing that people that may have been in your life for most of your life are just splitting off. And when I say splitting off, it's not that they've just fallen off the face of the earth, right? It's more along the lines of, like, you don't see them like you used to. You don't talk to them like you used to. And in all honesty, if you didn't reach out, it's almost like they don't exist. Unless you put yourself back into that scenario or that timeline, they're not currently here with you, right? Doesn't mean they're gone. They're just not in this current situation or reality that you're in. Are you still operating in constructs that don't serve you? What does that mean? Are they things that bring you joy? Are they things that bring you peace? Do they confine you or limit you in any way? Are you in control of yourself in those situations? Or are you being dictated and controlled by others or outside influences? The world is definitely splitting right now. There's people that are stuck in very reactive spaces and they're doubling down and they don't want to change. And that's okay. Meet people where they are. And I don't necessarily mean go back there, right? Like, you don't have to go back. You don't have to play in playgrounds that no longer serve you. But let people be where they are. It's not your job to change them. You choose to take the perspective that you do in your life. You're always in the seat of the observer. It just depends how far you want to go in your seat. You're always in control. Pay attention to what's going on around you. A lot more will be revealed. Love you guys.